being on the circuit, after pretty much I finished that run with Subconscious Whispers, because then at that point I had with Subconscious Whispers, When Tables Turn, still had the Evelyn Black. It was at that point it was kind of like that was another thing. People was like, yo, you got like 3, maybe 4 films on the circuit all at the same time, and I was everywhere with, you know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, that's unheard of.
Cause I remember you being at one of the festivals, and you were telling me, like the way they were kind of, it almost was. I don't want to say the film festivals are bad, right? I don't want to say they're bad, but it was like almost exploited. You know what I'm saying? Almost exploiting the filmmakers. And I remember around that time he was telling me that I was just like kind of looking at different films and series and stuff like that. And I was thinking to myself, like, okay, he's at these film festivals telling me about these films. And I'm like, yo, where are they? Where can I see them? Mm-hmm. How can I see them? And they're like, and that was the thing with Subconscious Whispers. They were like, okay, well, if you're going to come to the film festival, you can't air it until it's shown at the film festival.
Oh, wow.
You can't put it online.
You can't put it online.
Or get distribution.
How long did it take for you to even put it in any platform?
Well, see, that's the thing. It's they're like, okay, you submit it. Yeah, you have to submit it, right?
Right.
And during that whole submission process, they're gonna look at it and tell you if you're good enough to be in their film festival.
How long does that usually take?
Depending on where you submit it, because they got the early bird,
right?
Which, you know, then they got the regular deadline, then they got the late deadline.
So all this time they're taking submissions that cost money,
right?
And they're like, okay, we'll let you know, but at this time you can't profit from your film. You can't put it out anywhere. You can't put it on any platforms. You can't let anybody see it because they're judging it. So you're sitting here with this film that you've taken maybe a year to make, and then now you're like, okay, now I got to wait another few months to know if I'm in the festival.
Right.
Then when I get in the festival, I got to wait until the festival starts before anybody can even come see it.
Right.
So now the people that got to come see your film, they have to pay to come see your film because they got to pay the film festival to come see it.
But that doesn't even go towards the film.
Oh, the filmmaker? No.
Right. So you're basically producing this film by yourself, financing it however you got to do it, sending it up there, paying to send it up there. Then you got to pay how you gonna get there?
You got to get there.
That
was the thing. That was the thing with me. They was looking at me like, well, how in the hell are you getting around to all these festivals, from Martha's Vineyard to Atlanta to Vegas to Montreal to Toronto?
Right. You got to find a way. You got to pay your own way. And it's like, so that's all of that expense is coming out of the filmmaker's pocket.
Mm-hmm. And that's still the same thing until this day?
Yeah, that's how they operate. That's how they operate. And like I say, some of them are, there's a benefit.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are sponsored by big companies like HBO or something, and you may get this big prize, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the way I was looking at it, I was like, well, okay, say maybe one person wins the big sweepstake and gets on a major network and gets their film shown, or goes to Cannes or Sundance or something like that. But there's a lot of other good films that may not have won the major prize, but they're very good quality films. Right. And I'm like, nobody's seeing these films unless you know who made them, or that person could get distribution on their own.
Right.
That filmmaker could. So it's like there's so many films that go unseen, and so many people that put in hard work and their work never gets seen. And that's why I was like, when I was doing my journey at the television station, I'm just like, we have to give these people a voice. We have to give these people a platform. Because there's films out there, there's movies, series, whatever they're producing, content that people need to see. So that's when we really kicked it in an overdrive about getting this network up and running, figuring out how to actually do it from the ground up, because we're doing it through us. Nobody's helping us. We getting it out the dirt.
Mud.
For real. Like we from the, I mean, and to actually build a network, I'm talking about like from getting a production staff, getting Camille to help us and come be part of the team. Like we have to get people in places that can handle business. Sales teams.
What's Camille's role?
So Camille is from the standpoint of on the original programming side. So she's like the glue that actually, so all of the different series that we might be producing, she's like the glue to make sure all of those stay on point and stay on time and make sure that they get done. Like I say, from a producer standpoint, Camille's a producer. So on these projects, you know, she's a producer from the business standpoint. So she knows what needs to be done to make sure these projects get done, right? So from the network standpoint, in regards to whether it's Silent Partners or whether it's this show or whether it's, you know, some of the other projects that we have, she's in there making sure, like, that's who I'm on the phone with, like, all right, setting up the times, you know, the scheduling and all
that stuff that could derail a project
right.
if you don't take care of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like she takes care of that stuff. Like it's like, and that's the stuff we need, because it's like we're sitting here trying to create stuff and put projects together and come up with ideas.
Right.
And it's like, okay, but she's like, yo, okay, cool, but like, what about this? What about that?
Keeping you guys in check.
Hey, we need some money for this.
Right.
Hey, we need to get this money situated. I'm like, I got you. We got it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it working. Yeah. So, like I say, now I recognize that in her, our first project working together when Tables Turn, and just how we went about it. She was the producer on that, and I just like how she went about her business. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, she got it. She's about her business. Right. You know what I'm saying? And from there, we just been rocking. And so that was 7 going on 8 years now. So
and that's what you need. And as far as putting together this network, is putting together people like that to really just build this thing up the way it's supposed to be. Right. And to have it first class and like really like inner elite. Like we don't want any.
The name speaks for itself.
The name speaks for itself. There's no funny business. There's no. It's just hard work and just really getting out there and putting the product out there and giving people an opportunity to voice their creativity.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. Like when you go to like a Sundance, you know, a Cannes, or like, you know, those, when you go to those film festivals, it's there are literally people there that are looking to buy your film. Like, so they go to those big ones, right? That's why everybody wants to, you know, you always hear about Sundance, because people go there to actually, with checkbooks, like to pay, oh, we want to buy that film so we can release it, right? But what happens is everybody got a festival. So but it's not like everybody, it's not like at all these festivals you have these people that are trying to, you know, so what ends up happening is it, you know, it does sometimes come off like a money grab, because you get there and you're like, all right, like I said, I didn't have to pay to submit my film. So now I can't show my film anywhere else. Now I have to be able to pay I have to get to the festival. Once I get to the festival, I have to pay for my hotel and board, food, transportation, everything, right? So, and then on top of that, because they're promoting it, when these tickets that they're selling for people to come see your movie, you're not getting any of that. You're not getting any of that. Like, you, the filmmaker, are not getting any of that money.
You're just getting that exposure.
You're getting the exposure.
So if you could change anything about it, I'm sure you wouldn't want to take back the experience.
No,
let's say someone wants to follow your footsteps, someone wanting to become like a full-time filmmaker.
Right.
What would your advice be? Would you want them or like tell them to go to those film festivals? I mean, definitely during these times we can't because of COVID.
And that's the whole thing now. So now all of the film festivals are virtual because of everything that's been going on. So
I mean, less money to spend.
It's definitely less money to spend. And so, but when you look at it, and this just popped into my head, but now if everything is virtual and, you know, they're going to be promoting it, but they still don't want you to have your film. They don't want you to put your film out because they want people to come to their platform to watch your film. When I was in college, I already knew where I was going with it, right? And I had professors telling me that I wasn't going to be able to monetize short films. They told me that in college, like, well, you're not going to be able to monetize your short films, I mean, because they're short films. And I'm just thinking, yeah, but y'all don't know what I know. And in college, it's different because people can only teach you to the level they've been at, right? So I've got these dope college professors that can teach me about cinematography and editing and storytelling, but they can't teach me about distribution. They can't teach me about how to sell their movies. Why?
Because they
haven't done it, right? And that's just the facts, right? So, of course they're gonna tell me that. But then you fast forward and I'm getting paid off of short films. Because I knew then something. I saw what they weren't able to see. And so we're in a great position because with this platform, we're different because we own our own distribution platform, but we're content creators as well. Most of the distribution platforms, they just are just distribution platforms, and they're looking for people like us with content. So when people like when we did, which going into a social love affair, it was all right. They were like, we want to release a social love affair on our platform. And it's like, okay, well, you can do that after we release it on our platform. After we release it on our platform, then we'll let you get it, right? So that gives you that leverage. So now when you talk about what I show the filmmakers coming up, you don't necessarily have to go through the film festivals, because then you got to think back on how many views you could get on your own if you were promoting your own if that money that you, and I'm not anti-film festival, but if that money that you put into going to the film festival, submitting, and then you're not just submitting to one festival. So you think about $50, $65, right? But you're submitting to this festival, this festival, this festival, that, right? So that's just submission fees. So then you talk about being able to go, right? And everything, like we talked about, everything along with that. So you look at all of that money, and then you get to these festivals, some of these festivals, and it might be 20 fucking people in the theater. So you're like, so I got, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? I could have dropped this online and
promoted the hell out of it.
And promoted it, and would have had way more than 20 people seeing this. Meanwhile, you can't put it online for anybody else to see. So the only people that was actually seeing it were the people that were coming to these festivals. But see, we had a plan already. So it was like, all right, boom, we're utilizing the festivals, right? So then after the festivals, it was like, yo, but we didn't put any of the films on YouTube because we knew we were going to release it on our own platform. And if we put it on YouTube, it was going to lessen the value of what it was going to be worth once we actually said, hey, everybody, we got our own platform. You can come check our shit out on our own network. And we're going to be able to profit and benefit off of all of that traffic and all of that. That was our goal from jump. You see what I'm saying? So that's why our films were never on. And there was times you question like, Cleve, man, should we put this shit on YouTube? Like, but we had to, you know what I'm saying?
We had to stick to our guns,
right.
And it was all about that creative control of,
right.
of your, you know, it's almost like having your masters. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it is.
For your music, it's like this is your
baby.
It's your baby. This is what you created. You made it. You know what I mean? If anybody should profit off of it, it should be you.
Absolutely,
it should be you. And that's what we're trying to bring for content creators everywhere around the world.
Right.
Is create the content, get it out, and let's find a way to profit off of it so you can create more content.
Right.
And that's what we're looking at here, and that's what we're doing the Inner Elite, and that's what we're reaching out to people and saying, hey, come join, come put your content on here, and we'll help you figure out a way to profit off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So are you guys looking forward to like advertising, marketing the network to get more in touch with people besides the people that you guys already know through networking?
Oh yeah, like that, and that's the beauty of it. That's why, like when you asked about the film festivals, like there's so many relationships that were established internationally, but then what happens is, so all right, if I've got filmmakers in Paris, filmmakers in Nigeria, filmmakers in LA, excuse me, filmmakers in Montreal, filmmakers in London, we got like everywhere.
Right.
So like now what happens is, if you are in London and you've got a following in London, but we've got a following in Charlotte, you've got a following in LA, you've got a following in Montreal, but you're all coming to this one hub. So now you've got even your following is increasing. You see what I'm saying? And that's how we planned on
Just
putting everything together as far as this big melting pot to where a central hub to where everywhere is coming. And so that, you know, from an advertising standpoint, like you said, now it's the situation where, we just did, for instance, you know, one was in Brazil. So now we have distribution in Brazil. So we're actually about to start a campaign with the Dreamer campaign, right? That I shot when we were out in Brazil, linked up with a dope ass filmmaker and photographer, Zaki. Yeah, so we're here in Rio. I got my man with me, Zaki.
What's going on?
We putting in work. We out here in Rio. Right now we at Ipanema.
Ipanema, Ecuador.
That's where we at. You feel me? We getting it in. I got me a Caprina. Lovely. It's lovely out here in Rio. I learned that you pronounce the R's like H's though, here. So actually, you call it Hio here. Hio. See, you learn. I'm trying to show y'all something. I'm teaching y'all something. I learned today. You feel me? I learned just a few minutes ago. But yeah, we are here, you know, getting it in. Man, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself, man? You know, let them know, I can do the humble brag for you, you know, let them know who you work for, who you've been working with, not because you work for yourself, you know, National Geographic.
Yeah, National Geographic,
Vogue,
Adidas, Nike,
just
Netflix.
a few.
I'm a freelancer, so I freelance with everybody.
Feel me?
Sometimes I'm in Brazil, sometimes in the United States, Colombia, whatever you need me, just hit me up. It's
You
a
already
good
know the
brother right
vibes.
now. I'm happy you hit me up too.
Hey, man, the vibes is real. We getting it in. We putting in that work. We working on something real special for y'all, man. So y'all just got to stay tuned. Yes. So we did a whole short film, and the voiceover is in Portuguese.
Ele percebeu que era Deus. A maior parte da sua vida, a sociedade tentou esconder isso dele. Disseram que ele era fraco, escravo, tudo menos rei. Mas então, ele entendeu o seu poder e reivindicou o seu espaço entre os grandes.
So the ad in that campaign is going to be, like, we're running it here now, but we're shooting all of that to Brazil and Rio and that whole area. So from an advertising standpoint, now we have distribution there already. So now it's like, all right, boom, they seeing that, and it's like showing people the way of the Inner Elite. And it's like, yo, all they have to do at that point is go download the app,
Right.
and now they got access to the content. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a whole different. And like I said, that's when we, like, these are things that we've talked about, and now it's like we've just in
now we
position
finally
to-
have the technology
Right.
one to be able to reach the masses in the way that we wanted to do it, with a quality and the ease. You know, you
Yeah.
have a smart TV, now all you got to do, like I said, download the app.
it.
That's all you gotta do.
And now you can watch a film from London, you can watch a film from Brazil, you can watch a film from LA. And then it's a network in the true sense of the word, just like you go to a networking event and you would meet people and you say, hey, you do this, I do this.
Right.
Okay, cool. So now you're checking out our film and you're like, wow, I like who shot that. Oh, that's our DP, James Holmes.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? He shot that. Man, put me in contact with him. I want him to shoot my film.
Right.
Oh, I like the actress in your movie.
Right.
Shoot her. I wanted her in my movie.
Right.
So you're now networking with people around the world
Literally.
instead of
Virtually.
just virtually. Yeah. and it's nothing but, you know, a phone call or whatever. And it's like we're trying to bring everybody together so we can have one big network and create our own world where we don't have to rely on Hollywood to break us, to make us. You know what I mean? It's like, and I mean, you look at now, you don't know what's gonna happen. So like with the
Yes.
pandemic, it's like now Hollywood was on pause, and it was like all this stuff. If you were relying on Hollywood to put out your movie or give you a chance to act, like no, they can't do it now. So you have your own ability to do it with technology. You can make your own movies, you can make your own films, and we can distribute it for you.